Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this webinar, the latest in a series of webinars that the LEAP Client Success team are running. These webinars aim to improve the way small law firms implement the features of LEAP in the cloud. My name is Jennifer Nguyen, and I am one of the Client Success Managers here at LEAP. Joining me today is Sumit Gimare, who is one of our Content Productivity Specialists. Before we get started, I want to go through a few housekeeping rules for those of you who have not attended our webinars before. So if I could just get everyone to please raise their hand by clicking the little green hand icon in the top right of your screen so we know that you can hear us. Hello everyone, lots of green hands, excellent. Okay, I also want to note that today's webinar is in listen only mode, which means that you can hear us, but we are unable to hear you. So please be sure to type any questions you have throughout the webinar in the question box at the bottom right of your screens. We will attempt to answer your questions at the end of today's webinar. Should we run short on time, we will collate the questions into a FAQ document, which would be sent out to you along with the recording of this webinar. In today's webinar, we will be looking at how to import and create precedents for your firm. We will share with you hints and tips for managing your own precedents. We'll show you how you can maximize use of the resources available from bylawyers, including how to modify the precedents and efficiently work with LEAP forms. Sumit will then demonstrate effective management of your matters using the matter information sheets and show you how you can keep updated with the latest legal and document updates. The first thing we will be looking at today are your firm's precedents. A lot of LEAP users may have precedents in a folder on your desktop that you are constantly importing into LEAP Matters time and time again. A much more efficient way of accessing these documents would be to spend the extra time to import these precedents into LEAP. The benefit of importing your precedents into LEAP is that all staff in your firm can access these precedents in one central location. We often hear that people don't have the time, but let me show you how quickly this can be done so that you can better manage and streamline your firm's precedents. I will now demonstrate how to import a precedent from your computer into LEAP. So go into LEAP and click into any matter from your matter list, and then click into Guides and Precedents. From here, it is crucial that you select the matter type that you would like your precedent to go into. So this is so you have the relevant merge fields available. For this example, we will be importing a purchase agreement into a purchase matter. It is worth noting here that you can create a new folder for your firm's precedents by right-clicking and selecting New and then Folder. You are able to name this folder whatever you like. Once you have decided on which folder you would like your precedent to save into, in this case, getting the matter underway, double-click into the folder, right-click into any white space, and then select Import Precedent. This will now open up your computer directory. You will then locate your precedent, click to select it, and click Open. Your precedent will now be imported into LEAP. Once you have imported your precedent, this becomes available for all LEAP users in your firm for use as required. You will see that this document is highlighted in purple. This will help differentiate your firm's precedents to the bylawyer's precedents and LEAP forms, which appear in black. If you don't have this function turned on, you can click on the three-line menu, which we will refer to as a hamburger, and tick Highlight Custom Precedents. This will turn your firm's precedents purple. In addition to having your firm's precedents in LEAP, you can directly access them by turning on a tab called Custom Precedents. To turn this tab on, navigate to the hamburger and select to tick Show Custom Precedents tab. You can see shortly that you will have a tab next to the Search tab called Custom Precedents. The Custom Precedents tab will house all of your firm's precedents across all matter types and give you the ability to search just your firm's precedents. We'll now move on and have a look at creating a precedent based on your letterhead. If you're constantly creating a new letter in Leap and then copying and pasting content from a Word document outside of Leap, I will now show you how to create that letter in Leap. We are already in the Guides and Precedents window, so now we select the matter type folder. We then right-click in any white space, hover over New, and click to select Word Precedent. For this example, we will create a letter to the purchaser. From this screen, we will select the letter document type on the left, and then select the recipient, in this case the purchaser, and then click on OK. Your letter will now open up in Word with your letterhead. You can now navigate to your Word document saved outside of Leap to copy and paste the content into this letter. Once you have pasted the content into your letter, you can click on to rename and close and give the precedent an appropriate title and click on OK. We'll call this one Letter to Purchaser for Meeting. Click OK to save, and shortly you'll be able to see your new precedent in your list and have it highlighted in purple. Once it's there, you can open it to use. So let's open the precedent now as if we were about to work on it. The entire firm will now have access to this precedent in Leap simply as a result of you having created the precedent. While we are here, I would like to take a look at some advanced functions in the Leap ribbon. First, we have the Bring to Front button, which brings your matter to the front of your screen. This will enable you to quickly edit or add information to your table types, such as editing the street name. You will notice that Thomas has been misspelled with a double M. So we'll remove that extra M, and any changes made will be updated once you return to the document and click on the update icon here on the left. And you can see now that Thomas has been updated. Next, we have the Apply Document Type function. This function will take the body of your letter and place the body into any other document type. So if I wanted to send this letter by email, I can click onto the Apply Document Type icon and select the relevant document type. In this case, letter by email, and click OK. The letter will then refresh and convert itself to the selected document type. And as you can see, by email to the recipient has been imported. You may notice that when you open certain precedents, a number of questions pop up for you to answer. At any stage, if you need to re-answer those questions, or if you had selected the wrong answer, this is where you would use the Run Fill-ins feature. This will rerun those fill-ins, and the new responses will then be reflected in the document that you are working on. The next feature is multiple print. Should you wish to send this letter to multiple recipients in the matter, you can utilize the multiple print function to print letters addressed to each recipient. This is particularly useful in a probate matter when you want to send the same document to multiple executors at different addresses. Simply click onto multiple print, select the recipients, and click OK. You will now have multiple printouts of the same letter with a different recipient on each letter. The last advanced function I will show you today is the Email As function. There may be instances where you'll be drafting a letter and then decide that you just want to send the body of the letter in an email. You can do this by selecting Email As and then selecting Content in the drop-down menu. This will open an email in Outlook and insert the body of your letter. You can also select to attach this letter as a PDF to an email straight from the Word document. We would encourage you to explore all of the advanced functions in the Leap toolbar, and if you have any questions at all, please utilize the Leap community or email clientsuccess@leap.com.au. A common question we get from our clients is whether they can create emails with relines in them. And yes, you can. I will now go through creating an Outlook precedent with you. For this demonstration, I will create an email to the purchaser in the Purchase Matter Type folder. Mouse right-click in any white space, hover over New, and click to select Outlook precedent. From this screen, you will then select the recipient, in this case the purchaser, and select OK. Outlook will then load and a blank email will now appear for you to add your relines. To do that, place your cursor into the body of the email and then click onto Insert in the leap ribbon at the top. On the right-hand side, you will see that you have a list of fields that you can insert. Under the search box, there is a drop-down menu for you to select the category that the field relates to. In this instance, we are looking for a matter-related field. We will now click into the search box and search for reline. Once the results appear, you can select Reline 1 and click Insert. That field will go into the body of the email, and once Reline 1 has been inserted, you will want to press Enter on your keyboard to go to the next line to insert Reline 2. Similarly, select Reline 2 on the right-hand side and insert. Once you have entered your relines, you can also add content to your Outlook precedents as follows. So for this example, we'll type, we refer to settlement of the above matter. Many of you may be wondering if you can add your email signature to this as well. As the email signatures are available from Outlook, please ensure that you have set up your email signature first. Then, to insert your email signature into your Outlook precedent, click into the Insert tab in the top toolbar, click onto Signature, and then select your name. You can now click back into the Message toolbar to save and close and give this Outlook precedent an appropriate name. And we'll call this Outlook precedent Email to Purchaser. And then click on OK. This will now save the email to your precedent list, and it will have a different icon to those of your Word precedents. And it will be available for everyone in your firm to use. We'll move on now and look at history of changes. To access the history of changes on a precedent, right-click and select History of Changes at the bottom of the list. The screen that you'll see shortly is a log of changes that this precedent has undergone over time. The first column will note the date and time the change was made. The middle column will show you the reason for the change, and the user column on the far right will record the initials of the user who has changed the document. In the instance where there are no initials, this indicates that the change has been made by LEAP or by lawyers. From this screen, you will note that you can use the preview option to preview a particular version. Further to that, you can select two versions of the document and click on to compare to make a comparison on two versions. Once you have decided which version you would like to use moving forward, you can click to highlight that version and then click Set as Current. We'll now be looking at by lawyers. By lawyers is available to LEAP users on a companion arrangement. For those who have subscribed to by lawyers, you will already be enjoying the benefits of the extensive library of guides and precedents. We will now go back into LEAP and take you through the Legal Guides tab. To get there, we'll click back into a matter and then click into Guides and Precedents, and then select the Legal Guides tab, which lives on the far left. If you would like the Legal Guides tab to be your default tab when you click into Guides and Precedents, you can do that. And to do that, you can navigate to the hamburger and click Set as Default tab. For this part of the webinar, We will go through a property settlement matter. As we have opened a property settlement matter type in LEAP, the Legal Guides tab has automatically brought in the relevant publication. There are three components to a bylaws publication: the matter plan, commentary, and precedents. When you use the Legal Guides tab rather than the Browse tab, you will have access to the entire matter plan for each publication. This provides you access to the detailed commentary relevant to the matter type and allows the bylaws precedents for each matter type to be readily identified as so. The commentaries are detailed and practical explanations of how to run a matter in the particular area of law, written by experienced practitioners. Sometimes a matter is not typical and further deeper research is required, and that's where the bylaws reference materials come in. Let's click into the full commentary for a property settlement matter. These commentaries will load in your web browser. At the top, alerts will appear notifying subscribers when either the law or an aspect of practice or procedure has changed. Moving along, the contents page is hyperlinked. So if you wanted to read about time limits, simply click on the title and you will be taken to that section of the commentary. You will see here that there are direct links to relevant legislation. Anything that is blue and underlined can be clicked on. My tip here would be to right mouse click and open in new tab. This will allow you to switch between the commentary and the government authority website. The top right corner of each page within a commentary has a link back to the contents page. Once you click there, you'll be taken back to the top so that you can select another topic. As you scroll down, you'll see several topics in the commentary, and then you can see a link to further information. Once you click onto further information, it will take you to a section that shows you other resources such as links to other courts and government bodies, and there are also related bylaws publications that you can browse. Back into the Legal Guides tab, you will have access to the bylaws precedents within stage folders. For example, in folder A, you have access to cost agreements for all states. And scrolling down to folder C, there is a library of consent orders. I note here that the blue links are your precedents and the green links are your reference material. If you would like to search within the publication, there is a search bar here at the top. You can type, for example, section 90B and click the magnifying glass to the right. This will now search the publication, and you can see that it has taken me to the combined financial agreement. In the top right section, you can access related guides to this publication, such as financial agreements or the 101 family answers. To the right of the related guides, you can browse more guides. When you click onto Browse More Guides, you have the ability to choose your jurisdiction. Let's go to WA. From here, you can see the other areas of law, but let's have a look at practice management. The practice management publication is very handy for management of your firm, as it contains information ranging from office management to trust accounting. Under the management folder, for example, you have management forms such as the risk management plan. And as you can see, there are many other useful documents in each subfolder for you to use. I'm now going to pass you on to Sumit, who will take you through modifying precedents and LEAP forms.
Thank you, Jennifer, and good afternoon to one and all. Now we will look into how to distinguish the various precedents and modify them when required. Moving back to LEAP, let's go back to the earlier purchase matter we were working on. Click on to Guides and Precedents, and get on with getting matter underway. Under that folder, you will notice that all the documents that are your own firm precedents are purple in color, whereas other documents are black. Now, in order to modify your own precedents, simply right click on your precedent and select Modify Precedent. Once you have selected that, your document will open and it is in modify mode now. Any modifications made here will apply firm-wide, and every time you use the precedent going forward, it'll appear. So let's change the font and also save the modification by entering a detailed reason. It's important to have a detailed reason there, as this modification will be logged in the precedent's history of changes with the user's initials. And as Jennifer had earlier demonstrated, you can manage the versions of the precedent using the history of changes. Now let's see how we can distinguish different precedents. So precedents with the precedent code commencing with LL are forms or precedents that LEAP provides. And precedents with precedent code commencing with BLFL are precedents that bylaws for lawyers provides. Further to that, should you want to modify these documents with these codes, it is important that you follow the following steps. Firstly, right click and select duplicate and rename the document. Once you've done that, as a matter of good practice, you could prefix the precedent with your firm's own name. Thereafter, you can right click and modify your precedent. The reason we ask you to undertake these steps is because all these forms are constantly monitored and updated as required. Should you directly modify these precedents, you would be prevented from receiving updates from us, as you have directly modified those precedents without making a copy for yourself. Hence, make a duplicate and thereafter modify the duplicate copy of the precedent to suit your firm's needs. Moving on, now, should you have already modified a document and you know it's from bylaws or it's from Leap and you want to get it back to getting all the updates in here, you would right click on that document and you would have the option to revert to standard. Now, once you've hit on that, this would revert the document to its original state, and going forward, you will get all the updates we provide periodically. Now, we will look at Leap forms and how to use them efficiently. There are nearly 6,000 Leap forms available as part of your arrangement with Leap. These forms are maintained by a dedicated team of content experts. These automated forms are available for different areas of law and can be located in the Leap Forms folder. As you can see, we have various we have forms from various documents and all of them are automated. Now let's review the New South Wales folder and preview the purchaser declaration form. This preview function is handy for when you are just examining documents before you go about creating them. It's a quicker way of doing things here. Now it's worth noting here that we have a range of government forms, and next time you need a government form for your matter, please do look into your matter folder, see if there is a folder by the name Leave Form Folders, or just go into search and look for the by the firm number, and should find it there. So before we embark on using the forms, it is important that the data entry is done correctly and appropriately. By entering your data information once, you will save time by reducing the amount of time spent rekeying the same information again and again in the different documents, forms, and precedents you would create as you take progress with your matter. Now let's jump back into Leap, and I'll show you around some of those highly important tables of information. For example, the client card. Here, firstly, check if your client is a person or an organization, and fill in as much information as you can. Repeating myself, the more you enter here, the more time you save going forward. Now let's go into conveyancing details. Now, this table contains information, allows you to enter your purchase price and deposit. Further, if you go into transfer and duties, you can enter information accurately, thereby allowing you to calculate your stamp duty. Now, speaking of rates and duties, you have access to the legal rates across all states. For that, under the information menu on the top toolbar, hover over legal rates and select your jurisdiction. I will demonstrate the federal tab for now. In the federal tab, you will find that there are various court and legal fees. The information here is monitored and kept up to date by our content team. It is a one-stop location to find legal fees such as filing fees, registration for various government departments and courts. On the left-hand side, the various courts and government bodies are listed, whereas on the right-hand side, all the fees are outlined. As you are aware, after 1st of July, a number of fees will likely change, and we will update them accordingly. This is a handy location to view all the legal rates without having to browse multiple websites. Now, let's have a look at Quick Calculator. To navigate to the Quick Calculator, select information from the top toolbar and thereafter go into Quick Calculator. You may have clients, uh, who want to know their stamp duty even before you've opened a matter. You just want a quick quote or something like that. For this, we look into Conveyancing Calculator. For now, let's have a look at Conveyancing Calculator for ACT. This feature enables you to calculate stamp duty on property by simply entering the consideration and few other relevant information. And accordingly, everything is calculated for you. This is convenient when you're taking initial instructions and providing quotes to your clients. As you can see, this is offered across all states. Next, let's have a look at child support calculator and interest calculator. The child support is relevant for family law matters, and the interest rate calculator is handy when you're doing debt recovery matters, as you can select the different rates across multiple states and courts. Further on, we have the date calculator. This allows you to calculate future dates. Once you've entered this start date, enter the amount of years, days, weeks you would require, and the end date is calculated for you. Handy for settlement and those kind of matters. But please note here that the end date does not factor in public holidays. Check your calendar and factor in the end date accordingly. Moving on, to assist you, we have a range of a range of support options to help you and your staff in your business to get the maximum use of LEAP forms. We have a range of support available, including matter information sheets. Now, let's have a look at matter information sheets. To access them, you need to open the LEAP community page. An easy way to access the LEAP community page is by clicking on the blue question mark on the top right hand corner and selecting LEAP community. Now, once that's clicked, it will open a web browser where you would have the LEAP page open for you. This is a central hub for all information concerning LEAP. Now, the matter information sheet would be under that LEAP form style. Click on that. And thereafter, click on matter information sheet, hyperlink them. Here, you will have matter information sheets for different areas. Let's have a look at the Queensland settlement statement. As you can see, this has detailed instructions and on for you to take carriage of this matter. And once you follow that information over here, your settlement sheets will work perfectly. Similarly, you have instructions for different states, for different areas of law and different matters. Hence, you could access that from the matter information page on the LEAP community. And you could take carriage of matters and ensure that your documents are working perfectly. Moving on, let's have a look at the LEAP Forms blog. As mentioned earlier, our content team is constantly working to keep these forms updated. The LEAP Forms blog informs you of all the updates we have made to our forms. To access the forms blog, you can click back on the homepage of the community, scroll down, and click on Forms blog. That will open a page where you can select your jurisdiction, and once that page is opened, you could have a quick look at what's been changed, or if you want an email update, you can enter your name, your last name, and email address, and accordingly subscribe. Henceforth, you will be getting updates, email updates when we make changes to our documents. The final thing we would like to show you today is the bylawyers obiter blog, which can be accessed by going once again back to the LEAP community homepage. Now click back on that, and over there you would see the bylawyers menu. After that, select the obiter there. Publication updates. You get publication updates here in addition to all the changes that have been made to the commentaries and precedents. Legal alerts. You can also view legal alerts from this page. Further, from this page you can enter your name, email address, and preferred states and get alerts for all alerts that bylawyers would be sending. For this, you do not have to be subscribed to bylawyers. Anyone can subscribe and stay updated with all the legal changes happening. We have come to the end of our session so far, and as I can see that we have taken considerable amount of time. Just have a quick word with Jen. Jen, could you identify a question we could assist our clients with today?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's have a quick look. Oh, here's a good one. Okay, so Bianca has asked how
Mhm.
she can get back any precedents that she might have deleted.
I see.
Can we show that one?
Yeah, sure. If you could
Yep.
drive, please.
Yep.
So, once you have uploaded your precedents into Leap, if should you have accidentally or deleted those precedents, you can always get it back. So just open any matter, go into guides and precedents. Once you're there, go to the folder you think the document was there last. Let's say here, if you could go to the hamburger icon on top and select the second last option there, show deleted precedents. Give it some time. Now, once you've selected that option, all the documents that we're missing or you've deleted come up in red. Now identify which document you want to get back.
So letter to client.
Okay, and right click on that, please. Thereafter, select undelete. Now, once you've done that, that document becomes available for you to use again. So, once you've uploaded your documents in Leap, you will always have them, there's always a copy for you there. Yep.
Yeah, and it's just worth noting as well to remember to go back to the hamburger in the top and then untick show deleted precedents to get rid of all the red precedents there.
Yep.
And then you can see that the letter to client that we just undeleted will appear in purple underneath the firm precedents. Let's give it some time.
There you go. Okay, now for all the other questions we've missed, please look out for the FAQ that we will send you along with the recording of the webinar. For now, I will hand over to Jen, who is going to close today's webinar.
Thanks, Amit. We hope that our hints and tips and this overview on managing your firm's precedents and forms has been useful. Remember that the LEAP community is your best friend for information about LEAP. It's where you can access live chat, access our online manual for help articles, and contact the LEAP help desk. Please also feel free to email our help desk at support@leap.com.au. That is all for today. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you at our next webinar. Look out for the invitation email in your inbox or come to the LEAP community to register. Thanks for your time, everyone, and have a great afternoon.